welcome or welcome back to Heretic Owl Tarot. I'm so glad that you're joining me for these messages. It just brings me so much joy to read your cards. Speaking of, my calendar is now open for personal readings. The link for that is in the description below. Of course, anything you could ever want to know about this reading is going to be in the description below. And honestly, that's really all I have. I'm not even sure what decks we're going to be using yet. I just started getting that poking feeling last night to start putting out messages again. So that's what we're going to do. And this is probably the quickest intro I've ever done, but let's get into it. Sweet. So first, let's see who's next. All right, let's see. Cancer. Let's do it. So we're going to get an overall vibe from the Everyday Witch Oracle, and then we'll get more information from the Everyday Witch Tarot. I actually just got these like 2 days ago. The day that I made that intro video, and I was like, I'm not entirely sure what decks we're going to use. I went to one of the metaphysical stores that opened around here. I think they opened, I don't know if it was last year or if it was 2021, but I've been meaning to go and just keep forgetting. So I finally went, and I wanted to get the normal size of the Everyday Witch Tarot anyway. I have the pocket size version of it. And I'm so glad that it has this big ass book with it. I love these booklets. I love anything that helps, expand my knowledge and understanding. But then I saw that they had an Everyday Witch Oracle deck, which I didn't even know they made. So anyway, I told them that they were going straight to camera. So anyway, let's get your overall vibe for Cancer. Overall vibe for Cancer. We only take the one that falls out. Well, how perfect for Cancer. Being water, meditation for peace and serenity. Look at this dog. Just along for the ride, looking a little concerned. I'm a Cancer rising, and this is exactly my dog's face sometimes. I'm actually kind of curious to read from the book on this one. Let's see, I think it's by, okay, so yeah, water, change in movement. In this crazy, hectic world we live in, peace and serenity may be more precious than gold and rarer than the most exotic gemstone. Most of us start running from the moment we get up, fueling ourselves with caffeine so we can keep going when we're exhausted. Racing from the demands of work to the demands of home with very little downtime. When we do relax, we often do it in front of some kind of electronic screen, television or computer or phone. Eventually, this constant stimulation begins to wear us down, like water on a stone, unless we purposely allow ourselves the occasional break for true peace and serenity. Meditation is a great way to achieve peace and serenity, but if you're not a fan, you can go for a walk by the ocean or a stream if you are lucky enough to live near one. Listen to ocean sounds on a recording while sitting quietly, or even sit by an indoor fountain and simply breathe while listening to the soothing rhythm of the water. However you choose to do it, giving yourself even 15 minutes a day to simply do nothing can help you find the energy to do everything life demands of you the rest of the time. This card is probably an indication that you are in serious need of some peace and serenity, and maybe a nap. If you have been feeling particularly frazzled and pushed to your limits lately, this card is a reminder to stop for a moment and connect with water in some way that will help you to relax. Sometimes we forget we can use water in the simplest of ways by drinking it. If you are in need of some peace and serenity, try making some magical water. Start with a glass of water and use a glass jar if you have pets who might get into it, and then pour it into a glass later. If you want, you can put a clean quartz or amethyst crystal in the bottom, or a sprig of fresh rosemary or lavender. Leave it out overnight where the moon will shine on it. If you're going to put it outside, definitely use a jar. Preparations, keep in your mind the intention of creating water for use in peace and serenity work. Then, when you use the water the next day, hold it up to the sky and say, God and Goddess, power of water, please bless and concentrate this water for positive use, that it may bring me peace and serenity with every drop I drink. Then sip it slowly, feeling the calm filling you with every sip. I love that. And also, isn't there a full moon? Is it on the 7th? I'm putting this out probably on the 5th. So, this could be, if you do any type of moon magic, like it's asking, and especially too, okay, I love that I read from the book. I haven't felt called to do that yet. And, of course, we go where the energy takes us as long as it feels good. So I'm glad that I read from it, because also just that reminder, right? Number one, Cancer, is ruled by the moon. So there's that. We have a full moon coming up. I want to say that it's in Virgo. Might have Virgo placements or not. I mean, you don't have to, but I believe that this full moon on the 7th is in Virgo. So you can see where Virgo is in your chart and set intentions around the themes of that house where Virgo is. You don't even necessarily have to do that if you don't want to. I'm just throwing out possibilities. But, again, making moon water. So, like it was saying, using filtered or purified water. You can sit it outside. I would probably just sit it in something, where you can like put a lid on it, or something to basically where like birds and stuff can't get in it. Birds, I meant bugs, but okay, birds came out. So that's, that could be a thing. You can also just sit it in a window, like in whatever direction the moon is hopefully going to illuminate, that window. So you don't even necessarily have to put it outside if you don't want to. So there's options even for that. And again, just setting intentions. Full moons, it's kind of like what are you releasing with full moons? New moons is when you set intentions to bring in, like the new stuff. Full moons is, like what are you releasing in order to create space for new stuff. And then even just meditating on those things. It doesn't have to be a huge long list. It can be if you want it to be. We have the Fool. Holy cow. We have the World. The Fool, of course, I mean, that's the beginning of the Fool's journey, right? And literally the world is the end. It's like, that's crazy. Three. The Queen of Cups. Oh my gosh, the Tower. What in the sweet name? All right, we'll take it. Okay. Wow. Okay. Cancer. Let me just make sure everything is in frame here. Okay. Look how many major arcana cards we have out here. Like, we literally only have 2 minor arcana cards. There's 5 major arcana. I mean, 6 if you know, they're, yeah, at the bottom of the deck. It's interesting because it's almost like this meditation for peace and serenity. It's really, really tuning into your own divine self. Like, really connecting to your own power, right? And like with water talks about being in the flow, right? You know, it's allowing change. It's a lot about intuition, heart space, love. And again, you know, this meditation for peace and serenity, it's like almost just getting yourself centered for what is to come. Because, you know, major arcana, that's like when, like, you can see these things happening in real life. They are happening with major arcana. The minor arcana cards, you know, it's like going through the energy of that suit. So we have cups and we have pentacles here. And of course, I mean, you know, we'll talk about it. And let's just start there. So we start with a Fool, which is a brand new beginning. It's a leap of faith. There's also this element of like trust and surrender that goes into the Fool, because it's kind of like the only thing left for there to do is to actually do it. And if you've been in the energy lately to where it's, you know, thinking about all of the pros and cons, telling yourselves all of the reasons why you shouldn't do a thing, maybe you've been, you know, on a healing journey, maybe you have even been trying to connect to your intuition and your emotions and really even get clear on that. And like I said, with this whole thing with the full moon coming up here and moon water and, you know, what are you releasing? I sometimes like, you know, give this story about me starting this YouTube channel. I wanted to do it for a while, but I was so scared. And eventually I just got to this point where I told myself that I was just going to let everything like come up. You know, I was going to, whatever fear I had, whatever stories that I had attached to the reasons why not and why to do it. I, you know, all of the fears, all of the what ifs, all of the what if it's a failure, what if it doesn't have the outcome that I expect, what are my expectations, all of those things. And it took months to do that. You know, I mean, it's digging through a lot of your own, for me, my own stories about myself, and were they true or were they not true? Did I want them to be true? And I just kept working through those things as they came up. And I also kept having this intention that if this was something for me to do, if it was in my highest good and for the highest good of the most people that I would reach, right? Does it feel good to do it? And after every fear came up, every doubt, every story, every whatever, I would continue on, right? I'm like, okay, I've got that thing leveled. What's next? Because I still felt called to start the channel. And like I said, it took a couple months, but then it got to a point where it was like the only thing left to do was actually do it. I didn't tell anybody that I knew that I was doing it. I made the videos. It was a shit show the first couple months, but learning curve, But yeah, I didn't tell anybody that I knew that I started even making these videos until I think it was like 3 or 4 months or something. And it was just like, it just came up in conversation with a few people. And then it kind of kept coming up in conversation with a few people that I knew. So I was like, okay, feeling more comfortable. So that's like I said, and it doesn't even have to be a YouTube channel. It could be literally anything. But that's just, an example of like what I'm talking about when I say, it's like the only thing left for there to do is to actually do the thing. And even, if you can see this cat back here holding on for dear life, you could be one or the other. You could be this character or you could be the cat. Either way, it counts. You could be both, frankly. You could still be a little anxious, a little scared, still have a little bit of that residual, stuff, but still be excited to actually be doing the thing. Whatever that thing is for you, too. And it's, we have the star card here. So it could be a YouTube channel. It could be TikTok. It could be, Instagram, some sort of social media, something. But it's also like putting yourself out there and also putting yourself front and center to some degree. It's like, showing up and allowing yourself to be seen. The star card also talks about faith, hope. There's a lot of trusting the process. This is also, I always see the star card as being the literal space between the 5D, like where we manifest things, and the physical realm, where we are. And it's that space between. So it's like, trying to meld or blend those two things, trying to pull a manifestation down into the physical world, but also the relationship between those two things. So a lot with the star card, again, you could be putting yourself out there in whatever capacity that is. You could be going for a new job. You could be going to school, going back to school. This could be a relationship. You could be putting yourself back out there for dating, meeting new people. It could be, like I said, it could be social media to some degree, however, whatever degree that is for you. And then we have the World card here. And like I said, the Fool is the beginning, the World is the end of the Fool's journey. So it's not like, I'm not saying that immediately when you start, it's going to end. That's not it. But there is, with it being paired with the Tower, it is like the end of feeling like this Tower energy. It could be the end of feeling out of alignment with yourself, because it's like, I know that there is this thing that I do want to do. And I'm not doing it for whatever reason. And maybe, like life got chaotic for a while. And also, the tower is only going to take out what is no longer serving you. So sure, it could feel chaotic, the tower, because it's like all of a sudden, like people are exiting your life. It's like you're closing timelines. And that is very much necessary. That is very much part of the process. Like I was saying in my example, right? Like I'm going through all of the reasons why I shouldn't, all of the reasons why I was scared, all of the doubts, blah, 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 right? That's the tower. And, closing out all of those reasons, all of those excuses. Because even, like, look at their face. Like, they're not sad. They're actually kind of glad. But, I mean, that's the way that it looks anyway. And this cat down here is looking a little like, what the hell? This poor cat has been on this journey this whole time. You could have a cat. It doesn't have to be a cat. I mean, in this deck, there's more cats than there are dogs. And any other animal, I mean, we have some fish over here. There's a turtle. These are either, hawks or eagles over here. So, but it's more so like there could just be like an animal guide or emotional support to some degree. And then we have the Queen of Cups, which is the card of Cancer. So amazing that here you are, and especially on this top row also. I'm actually kind of curious what the book says about the Queen of Cups. The Queen of Cups is the embodiment of heart and passion. She will be there when you need help, advice, or just a warm hug. And she will encourage you in your own passions. The Queen is generous of spirit, intuitive and kind. She can be relied on for guidance, especially when you are too overwhelmed with your own emotions to make sensible decisions. She may be a mother, patroness, or a friend. Maybe she is even you. Things to consider. Everyone needs a Queen of Cups in their life, and we all have the capacity to be this person for others. If she shows up in your reading, the Queen may already be present. Have you taken advantage of the aid she offers you? You might have to go looking for her, but if you do, it will be worth the effort. Perhaps you take the role of the Queen of Cups for others. If so, you are to be admired and commended. Just be careful not to give too much of yourself, that your cup becomes empty and you have nothing left for your own needs. Blessed is she who gives with her whole heart. Love that. And look at this card too. We have all of these fish here that look, like similar, if not just like artistically drawn differently than, on this meditation card. They're jumping out of the water, just excited. There's this cat here. There's a few kittens over here. There's definitely this family or like community element to this. They're pregnant here. And of course, that can definitely be literal as far as expanding your family. It's interesting that like my throat got caught on that. So I wonder if that's like been a block or if that's been something going on there. If it's, something that you have wanted, but it's like emotional to talk about. Definitely like something, as far as like the throat goes, throat is expression. Throat is also manifestation. So, there could be something going on there with that. But, pregnancy in tarot also talks about the fertility of opportunities, having an abundance of opportunities. And like, the book was even saying about being able to be a guide or help, other people, but also being sure that in the process of doing so, you're not depleting your own cup, making sure that you are still pouring into your own cup too. Because sure, you can pour from an empty cup, but I mean, that doesn't help anybody, certainly not you. And it can really only go on for so long. And then we have the Ten of Pentacles with the High Priestess, who is giving a little tarot reading. Love that. So the Ten of Pentacles talks about, again, even with the abundance thing, having enough for you and those around you. Pentacles having to do with our money, how we make it, how we spend it, how we save it. It's, the materials and the resources available to us. It's our physical body. This is, again, even just this feeling of community, building that community, building relationships with other people. And then the High Priestess, even a water card again with the water. This is associated with the moon, so it could be Cancer, but it's also Pisces. But it is, this is like, the direct connection to your higher self. This is tuning into your star player. Very intuitive. There's also this element of surrender and trust. It's like trusting the message that you're receiving, trusting that the universe, God, goddess, divine source will provide for you, literally here, and especially since these came out together. I feel like this is even like an expansion of the little quickie message that I did for March, if you've seen that. If not, definitely check it out. Because it was almost like a little bit of the same energy in that reading. So it's almost like this double confirmation for you. There's the Wheel of Fortune. The luck is changing. This is always a good card. I don't care where it shows up. And it's also like in any element of your life, choose one. This one is specifically on home. So there could be something that is getting better within your home life. That could be where you're living. That could be, your family, chosen or biological. This cat is playing with some dice down here. And also even just, it's allowing yourself to take the gamble. Maybe it feels like a gamble to some capacity. And especially, like this is all very vulnerable too. And I believe we were talking about being vulnerable, like in that Quickie March message also. But this is all very vulnerable. And you putting yourself out there like this, like heart open, heart full, even if it's not full yet, it will be, allowing it to be full if it hasn't been and if you're not used to that. And then we have the Three of Cups, which is community, like support from those around you. Networking, we have the Four of Cups. It's interesting because on this one, there's these 3 cups here. They're bringing in this 4th cup and they all look different. So it could even just be, and again, it's like remembering that the first thing that you try or the first thing that you do, it may not be the thing. I mean, like my setup and everything has changed. I can't even tell you. It's changed a few times. I can't even like remember the exact number. But, and it's also remembering too that things take time. Like in the 3D, time is different than out there, right? Or over there. So it's not gauging your success on, engagement or followers, or it's gauging your success on based on how you feel. Does it still feel good? Because Cancer, right? I mean, there's all this water out here. Does it still feel good to put your energy, put your emotion, put your time into whatever the thing is? Like I said, it could be finding a new job. It could be wanting to put yourself back out there for dating. It could be starting some sort of YouTube or just social media channel in general. Okay, so continuing, even if you're not getting the, or if you're not meeting your own expectation, just be sure to check back in with how you feel. And let that be the thing that continues, that allows you to continue. The Six of Pentacles, again, even, support from others, but this is also support monetarily. This is the resources and the materials. This is also even, there could be somebody that either you meet or that you are, where it's linking people up to the right people that they need to interact with. This person has a basket full of food. This person has, it looks like maybe a necklace or coins. It's coins. So the Six of Pentacles is this give and take. It's reciprocity. The energy that you put into a thing, you will get that energy in return. Even if it's not on your timetable, it'll happen. It's like a matter of your content or your profile or your resume, reaching the right person. And in order to do that, you have to continue to keep trying. You have to continue to put your energy into the thing. The Four of Swords, because after it does, then there's a time for rest, but also getting this message about not worrying about it. Don't worry about it. Let your, don't try not to let your mind, start doing gymnastics and stuff. Just again, reconnect to that feeling. Does this feel good? Yes. Keep doing it. I'm going to leave it there. Thank you so much for allowing me to read your cards. This was beautiful. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.